Welcome to Back in Business, the podcast that's here to talk about what building a business really looks like behind the feed. If you're a service provider, a founder, or someone running the show quietly behind the scenes, then this space is for you. And today we're kicking things off with my very first episode, so that's super exciting. This is going to be a reintroduction to myself and to my brand, well, actually, my rebrand, and the real reason why I'm finally decided to do this. Back in Business is the unfiltered podcast for service providers, founders, and women in business who are done pretending it's all smooth sailing. This is the real, slightly chaotic, often hilarious side of business, the part you don't see, but absolutely need to hear. Join me, Kim Zojva, Executive Virtual Assistant, Business Manager and multiple business owner, as I share honest conversations from my own journey and fellow businesswomen. We go behind the brands to talk about the moments that shape our businesses, big wins, fuck-ups, mindset shifts, strategy and everything in between. This is business, unfiltered, and you're definitely not doing it alone. Hey, I'm Kim and I'm a business operations consultant and multiple business owner. And this episode has been literally about 3 years in the making because truthfully, this podcast and my rebrand have been sitting in the back of my mind for a very long time. I've had all the notes, all the outlines, the products and service ideas, and the maybe one day moments, and I've just kept putting it off. And I've put it off because I'm always busy. Client work was and still is my priority. And I was always a case of when I have more time or when things calm down. But the truth is, there's always something, isn't there? There's always some excuse as to why to keep putting these things off. And if I'm really honest, I was just stuck in doing what I was working on and ignoring what was actually calling to me. But eventually I experienced burnout, and I'll go into that in more detail um, later in another episode. But just long story short, I was super booked out. I was maxed out on hours, working all hours of the day and saying yes to things I did not have the capacity for. I was just literally chasing the income and completely disconnected from the work I used to love. But burnout put everything into perspective. So I stripped it all back, and somewhere in between shutting down and resetting, I found clarity. And I very quickly realized I had spent years creating an incredible business that worked, but I hadn't been giving space to the parts that felt creative, empowering, and rooted in why I started this in the first place, which I'll go through in another episode as well of how I actually got started. And because it wasn't the way that everybody else got started in their business. This rebrand is me finally showing up for the business that I've outgrown, and I'm rebuilding it around the version of me that I see in the future and that I've already grown into. It's about supporting service providers who want to run smarter businesses without the noise, without the pressure, or without always have to being on top performance. I want to support other women building real sustainable businesses. So none of this 10K, 50K a month crap. I want to create a very strong female-led business community. And to be honest, it's about the messy, chaotic, and unfiltered side of it all. Like, it's not always perfect, it's not always success. And to finally bring to life the projects and ideas that I've been suppressing for years because I was either too busy doing what it paid the bills or because I'd been told by multiple people along the way that it won't work or that's not what's popular right now. Nobody's going to buy this, nobody's going to listen. But I'm at the point where I don't care anymore and I want to do what I want to do. So, this podcast is a huge part of that. This podcast isn't about being an overnight success, 50K months, or telling you to manifest your way to freedom. It's about like the real stuff. The clients that can change everything, the launches that flop, the burnout, the bounce backs, pivots, the all fuck moments, small wins, big shifts, all of that. We're going to talk about all of it, like the real parts of business. No fancy glitter and covering things up. No Instagram lives on this podcast. This is totally real and totally me and totally all real women. If you're someone who's building quietly behind the scenes, or someone who feels like you're the only one who hasn't figured it all out yet, someone who wants a place where your work is celebrated, but it also speaks about the mess that it comes with, then you're definitely in the right place. This is the part of business that doesn't always get shared, and we're definitely not doing it alone. Well, I'm not going to let you guys do it alone anymore because I've been through it, and I'm sure you have too. So thanks for being here for episode 1 and for being a part of this next phase of everything that I've been working towards and that I've got planned, and I'm super excited. And if you've ever held yourself back from launching the thing or saying the thing or building the thing, maybe this is your sign to go for it. Not when it's perfect, but when it's ready enough. So because success is definitely messier than what it looks like online. And if this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to follow the podcast, leave a quick review, or send me a DM to let me know that you're listening. You'll find all my links in the show notes, and I will see you next week for episode 2.